Welcome, you guys. This is so fun to be able to share this work with you. Again, it's changed my life so much, and I'm so excited to share it with you today. Um, if you don't know me, my name is Kate Murphy. I've been a personal trainer for about 15 years. I got into foundation training about 6 or 7 years ago. I was dealing with some chronic joint issues myself. About 3 or 4 years of pretty frustrating chronic pain, which led me to foundation training. I started using it on my own body, was blown away by what I saw and felt. And so I started using on some of my personal training clients who had chronic back pain, hip pain, knee pain, shoulder pain, and I was blown away at what I was seeing in their lives. So I went and got certified. I've been teaching foundation training since. If you're not familiar with foundation training, basically what it is it's a corrective exercise which is designed to realign the body, address muscle imbalances and chronic weaknesses and tightnesses that our modern day lives have done to our bodies. The average person bends over 2,000 to 4,000 times a day and sits for 6 to 7 hours a day. Okay, so our modern day lives take a massive toll on our bodies. Foundation training is the antidote to sitting. It re-educates the body on how we move so that when we're bending 2,000 to 4,000 times a day and when we're sitting, we know what to do. We've got some tools to undo what those positions do to our bodies. We're not going to stop bending. We're not going to stop sitting. We just need some tools so that we can slow down the progression of any type of joint deterioration. Everybody is different, you guys. Every body I've ever worked with is very, very different. Some people need more mobility. Some people can fold in half and they need more strength, tension, and stability in their body. There's a spectrum. You're on it somewhere. Everybody's different, okay? Some of you today need to, improve your range of motion. Some of you just have too much range of motion in your body and you need to focus more on tension. Everybody's pelvis is oriented differently. Some people's pelvis falls back into a posterior pelvic tilt, okay? Those people need more flexibility in the back of the leg and the glutes. Some people's pelvis falls forward. You've seen sort of a sway back where the belly comes forward, the pelvis tilts forward into what we call anterior pelvic tilt. Those people need more tension back here and in the lower abdominal area. So again, everybody is different. Foundation training is very safe for people with joint issues. It was created specifically for that and for back pain, so it is very safe. However, I'm not with you. I cannot see what you're doing, so really follow along closely and make sure that your body looks like my body. The cues are, there's a lot of cues. There's a huge learning curve and tiny little tweaks in your body position. The knee being here versus the knee being here can be make the whole difference in the exercise, whether it's effective or not, okay? So we come into foundation training with these chronic tightnesses, muscles that are overworked, muscles that are underworked, and we put our bodies in these positions, and initially we feel it in all of the wrong places. So if you're feeling your lower back, if you're feeling something kind of funky, you're uncomfortable, listen to your body come out of the position. Just know that that's part of learning foundation training, okay? So we're not gonna come in and just master this and feel it in all the right places. The more you do foundation training, it's very, very repetitive, okay? So we're gonna repeat a lot of the same motions over and over and over again. And the whole idea behind that is that those movements retrain and repattern our body. They replace the bad movement pattern. So we're doing kind of some we're rewiring the brain so that the next time you go to move, you go to bend, you bend a little bit better, okay? So these good patterns are gonna replace the bad ones. So we're gonna be repeating a lot of stuff today. Foundation training is a series of about 18 to 20 corrective exercises. Today we're gonna get to about three of my favorite and 3 of the most important in my opinion, okay? Again, I want you to walk away today with mastered the basics, that you've got those down. So you know how to bend, and you know how to breathe in a way that helps support the body. So we're gonna start with 3 principles that apply to all of the foundation exercises. The first one is the hip hinge. The hip hinge is the single most important movement pattern we have, okay? This is how the body was designed to bend. Most of us just don't know that. So we go to bend over, we bend through the spine deteriorates, the muscles are tight and overworked, and we can't figure out why 95% of the population at some point throughout their life will struggle with about chronic low back pain, okay? So we're gonna learn how to hip hinge. We're gonna learn something called decompression breathing. Decompression breathing is something that we're going to do in each of the exercises that I'm gonna show you today. Is a way to lengthen the spine, bring more space into the torso, okay? And then we're also gonna do a little bit of anchoring in each exercise. Anchoring is activating the very neglected inner thigh muscles. These muscles stabilize the pelvis, and they also create a nice downward pull on the pelvis, and then with breath, we're gonna be pulling up. So we're gonna get a nice decompressive traction force within the body today. Okay, stand up if you're not standing up already. Again, if something doesn't feel right to you, stop and watch. This is very educational. There's a huge learning curve. We're going to be very repetitive, okay? So we're going to stand a little bit wider than shoulder width apart to start, okay? We're going to soften the knees. They're going to be unlocked. And we're going to take 5 decompression breaths. You're going to put your thumbs on the bottom of your rib cage and your pinkies on the top of your hip bone, okay? We're going to take 10 big deep breaths, and on the inhale, you're going to lift the front, sides, and back of the rib cage up as tall as you can get it. On the exhale, you're going to maintain that height. You're going to use your measuring sticks to watch that distance increase, and then on the exhale, don't fall back down. Keep that space, okay? So big deep breath in. Lift up, up, up. On the exhale, stay long. We are retraining the muscles in the torso to pull up against gravity. We all need more space here, okay? Big deep breath in. Lengthen. Exhale, maintain all of that height. The weight is in the heels, the knees are softened. Keep breathing. Big deep breath in. Lift the rib cage up. Exhale, maintain the height. Try not to let the shoulders come up. They're relaxed down away from the ears. Big deep breath in. Lift up, up, up. Exhale, maintain the height. We're retraining these trunk muscles to be long and strong. That's going to help your back significantly, okay? 2 more big decompression breaths. Length on the inhale. Maintain that length on the exhale. 1 more big deep breath in. Breathe up, 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 up. Expanding the rib cage. Exhale, keep that height. Okay, so these muscles should be fairly active right now, okay, you guys? So I want you to take that concept into all the exercises that I'm going to teach you today, okay? We're going to decompression breathe when we get into these poses, and I'll cue you to do that. Okay, next thing we're going to learn, the single most important movement pattern. If there's one thing I want you to take away from class today, it's how to hip hinge, okay? Hip hinging, I could write a book about all the benefits of hip hinging. I'll spare you. What I want you guys to think about is when you bend, most people are bending through the spine. That motion has to go somewhere, okay? And if it doesn't go into the hips where it's supposed to be, it starts to break down joints prematurely, okay? So we're gonna practice the hip hinge. I'm gonna have you stand a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, toes closer together than heels. You can see the outside edges of my feet are parallel, okay? The knees are softened. Let's take 1 big decompression breath and just maintain this length in the torso throughout this hinge. We're going to pull the hips back behind the heels as the torso comes forward, the hands reach forward to counter. You're going to push through the heels and stand back up. So watch from the side, the knees are softened, the hips pull back behind the heels, the weight stays in the heels, the spine stays long. You're going to push through the heels and come right back up. As you pull your hips back, you're lengthening the glutes and hamstrings. As you push through the heel and come forward, you're activating them, okay? This is the way we are supposed to bend. Again, we bend 2,000 to 4,000 times a day. If we can use that as an opportunity to strengthen the most weak and neglected muscles, the ones on the back side of the body, your whole body is going to change and feel a lot better. Okay, let's go a little bit wider into this. So I'm going to have you go about 3 feet apart. Knees are softened. Toes closer together than heels. We're going to activate the anchoring muscles by pulling the feet in, okay? So you're going to abduct the feet, pull in toward the center, just enough until you feel the inner thighs turn on. Knees should not cave. Don't collapse the arches. Stay on the outside edge of the foot, pulling in with the adductors. Okay, so we've got our anchor. Let's take one big decompression breath and lengthen on the inhale. Maintain all that length. I want you to open up here, reach those hips back into a hinge, drive through the heels and stand up tall. Keep the torso long and engaged. Keep the weight in your heels, and we're gonna hinge 10 times. Hips pull back, push through the heels. Make sure the spine is neutral, should not be bending. All the motion is happening at the hips. Pull the hips back, drive through the heels. Keep going, 4 more, nice and slow. Reach back, drive through the heels, last 3, nice and slow. You don't want to use momentum with foundation training. We want to work all of the muscles, so we're going to move really slow and controlled. 1 more, last one. Great job, you guys. Really good job. If you felt that in your lower back, it's okay. The lower back is usually chronically tight, and so it's really, really common to pull the hips back and feel those muscles engage. As the glutes get stronger, they'll do the work that your lower back is trying to do. You won't feel your lower back anymore, okay? We're gonna move into my favorite exercise. It's called the woodpecker. I'm gonna show you from the side. Watch first, and then I'll have you join me. You're gonna stand hip width apart. You're gonna step 1 foot back about 2.5, 3 feet behind you. When you step back, you take your hip back with you. The farther you get into the back of the hip, the better. The knee is softened, it's not bent, it's not locked out, it's softened. The hips are square, the weight is in the front heel, the glute should be on fire. Hands come forward, off the forehead, fingertips connect, and you're gonna hold right here while we do 10 decompression breaths. We'll step forward and switch sides. Okay, so go ahead and stand hip width apart. Step 1 foot back about 2.5 feet behind you. Right away, you're gonna push up on the ball of the back foot, okay? There's no weight back there. That back leg is just a kickstand for stability. All of your weight is pushing through your front heel. Your front knee is softened. The torso is long. The hands reach forward. You're gonna connect all 10 fingertips, and you're gonna hold right there. Keep pushing through the front heel. Every breath you take, you're lengthening the spine, drawing the belly button in on the exhale, and tightening the core. Keep breathing length into the spine. Make sure all of your weight is in your heel, and the hip that you're working on, the left in my case, is pulling back. You're reaching it back a little deeper with every breath, getting back into the glute. Keep pushing through the heel. 2 more breaths. Stick with me. Glute should be on fire. Drive through the heel. Good, and then go ahead and push through that front heel and step forward. If you did that right, you're gonna feel a huge glute activation. The glutes are the most influential muscles in the body. When they work well, your back pain, it just goes away, okay? So same thing on the other side. Stand hip width apart. Step 1 foot back about 2.5, 3 feet behind you. Make sure the hip is hinged back. Pull the hip back. Picture someone behind you pulling on your belt loop. Square the hips up, front knees soften, all of the weight pushes through the front heel. There's no weight in your back leg, it's just there for stability. Hips are square, pushing through the heel. Hands come forward, fingertips connect. All of the weight centered over your front heel. The right glute, in my case, is supporting my spine, okay? It's the pulley system that's holding my spine up. Every breath you take, lengthen the torso, and then exhale, maintain that length. Draw the belly button in tight. Big deep breath in, length, exhale, tension. Keep pushing through that front heel, driving it into the ground. 2 more big deep breaths, length, exhale, tension. 1 more breath, last one, stick with it. Glute should be burning. Good, and then go ahead and drive through that heel and step forward. I have seen that exercise get rid of people's 2, 3, 4, 5, even decades worth of piriformis issues, so many different types of hip issues, you guys. When these muscles in the glutes adapt and they get too short, they stop being able to contract and glide and work the way they're supposed to. So the woodpecker lengthens them and activates them and strengthens them at the same time. Extremely effective for sciatic, piriformis syndrome, and back pain, okay? We're gonna go back into the hinge and visit again. The glutes should be a little bit more active because of the exercise we just did. So my hope is that you feel this there a little bit more. Stand hip width apart. Big toes touching, heels a couple inches apart, okay? So we're internally rotated here. We're gonna soften the knees. We're gonna bring the palms forward and the pinkies on the hip bones, okay? I'm gonna have you push your big toes toward each other. That's gonna create a little bit of internal rotation at the hip so we can lengthen the glutes a little bit more in the back, okay? So the big toes are pushing toward each other. The knees are softened, and right here, as we hip hinge, we're gonna pull the hips back, the hands come forward, the pinkies and the inner parts of your lower arm connect, okay? And then you're gonna drive through your heels and stand right back up. So from the side, big toes are touching, pulling toward each other, knees are softened, hips pull back into a hinge, pinkies and arms come and connect, drive through the heels, open up the chest, pinkies on hip bones. Let's hinge 15 times. Reach the hips back, drive through the heels. Should be feeling this in the hamstrings and the glutes. Remember to move slow and control. We want the muscles on the back side of the body to do all of the work, not momentum. Nice and slow, reaching back, drive through the heel, keep going nice and slow. Again, you guys, we repeat the hip hinge in foundation training over and over and over again until it becomes automatic. That's the whole focus. The next time you bend a little bit better. Reach the hips back, drive through the heels, last 3. Pull those hips back, feel a nice tug down the back of the leg, drive through the heel. 2 more. Pull back, stand tall, last one. Reach back, stand tall. Great job, you guys. Okay, we're gonna go back into the woodpecker, a different variation of it. We're gonna hinge in the woodpecker, and we're gonna educate your glutes on how to act like the pulley system for your spine. So rather than when you bend, rather than using the muscles in your back as primary movers, which they're not supposed to be used that way, we're gonna train the glute to act like the pulley system, okay? So let's step back into the woodpecker again. Stand hip width apart. Step 1 foot back about 2.5 feet behind you. Push up on the ball of that back foot. All of your weight is centered over your front heel. The knee is softened, it's not bent, you're not here. The hip is pulled back, the knee is barely bent. It's softened, okay? You're gonna put your hands on your hips for this one, and I want you to just push through your front heel until you feel that back of the leg, the glutes start to wake up a little bit. Okay, so we've activated the glute here. We're gonna hinge in this position. So we're gonna bring the torso down toward the ground as we pull the hip back. To come back up, you're gonna push through your front heel. You're gonna feel your glute contract, which pulls the torso up. Okay, reach the hip back. Torso comes forward. Drive through the front heel very slowly. Feel the glute contract and pull the torso up. Keep hinging. Reach the hip back. Make sure the weight's in the heel. Drive through the heel. Feel the glute contract and pull the torso up. So normally as we hinge, we're using our muscles in our lower back as we bend to do this work. We're just trying to retrain the glutes to do what they're supposed to, okay? So keep hinging nice and slow, pulling the hip back, driving through the heel. Last 2, and we'll hold the last one for a nice little burn. Okay, you guys, if you're doing this right, you should feel a good burn through the glute and the hamstring right now. Notice my spine is staying still. All the motion is happening at the hip. Last hinge. We're gonna hinge about halfway out of that last one. Bring the hands forward and hold. All the weight's in the front heel. You're driving through your front heel. Your glute is on fire. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, step forward. Great job, you guys. So I've been doing foundation training for a long time. There is nothing that works the glute more intensely than that. If you didn't feel the glute, that's okay. Maybe your form wasn't quite right, or maybe those muscles have just been so shut off for so long that they're still on vacation. That's okay. You just need to practice more. Let's go to the other side. Stand hip width apart. Step 1 foot back about 2.5 to 3 feet behind you. Make sure the hip is pulled back. The deeper you get back into the hip, the better, okay? Push up on the ball of the back foot. No weight back here. It's just a kickstand. All of your weight pushes through your front heel. Your torso is long and engaged. We're going to hinge. Pull the hip back. The torso comes forward. Drive through the heel. The glute contracts and pulls the torso up. Reach the hip back. Slowly push through the heel. Make sure the weight is way back in the heel. You don't want it in the ball of your foot. You want to connect with the heel. That's going to activate the glutes even more. Keep hinging nice and slow. Pull the hip back. Slowly drive through the heel. Hinge the hip back. Lengthen and activate. Drive through the heel. Last 2 hinges. Good. Pushing through that heel, using as many muscles on the back side of the body as you can here. Reaching back. We're going to hinge about halfway out of this one. Reach those hands forward off the forehead. Connect the fingertips and hold. All of the weight pushing through the front heel. Glute should be on fire. Hold here for 5. Every breath is bringing more length into the torso. 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job, you guys. Step forward. Okay, before the glutes shut off too much, take a wide stance. 3.5 feet apart, okay? Pull in with the inner thighs. Feel them activate. Don't let the knees cave. Keep the weight on the outside edges of the feet. We're gonna hinge 20 times. Nice and slow. Hips back, hips forward. Keep going. With every repetition, we're building a little more tension in the glutes and the hamstrings. After that last woodpecker exercise, you should feel the back side of your body pretty active right now. Keep hinging. Make sure you're not bending through the knees. It's not a squat, it's a hinge. Keep hinging. Wide stance, inner thighs activated, pulling the feet in, reaching the hips back, drive through the heels, keep going. Reach back, push through the heels. So the glutes are the primary movers of this exercise. Again, if you don't feel it there, you might want to do a little more glute activating. Reach it back, drive through the heel, 4 more. Go back, press, good. Hopefully you're starting to feel the back side of the body here. Drive through the heels. Okay, you guys, so on this last one, we're going to pull back and hold the hinge. This is called the founder in foundation training, okay? So the hips are hinged back, the weight is in the heels. The knees are softened, the fingertips are connected over the forehead. This is a plank for your posterior chain. It's activating every muscle on the back side of your body. Keep holding. Every breath is a decompression breath, lengthening the spine, tightening up the core by drawing the belly button in, and maintaining that length. 2 more breaths. Weight is in the heel. Knees are softened. Length. Exhale. Tension. Good. Come on out. That exercise is called the founder. It will pull you out of back pain. If your back is hurting, you're outside, you're working in your garden, you start to feel your back tighten up, do a founder. Activates all the muscles that help the lower back to relax, okay? We're gonna go back into the woodpecker, different variations. This time we're gonna rotate in the woodpecker to bring more length into the posterior hip capsule. One of the leading causes of back pain, hip pain, knee pain, foot pain is a tight posterior hip capsule, okay? Back here, the piriformis, the glutes. We're gonna get into the woodpecker. We're gonna pull those muscles as long as we can get them, and then we're gonna turn them on and make them scream a little bit, okay? So go ahead and step back into the woodpecker. Reaching 1 foot back, about 2.5, 3 feet behind you. Right away, pushing up on the ball of the back foot. There is no weight in that back foot. It's all centered over the front heel, okay, you guys? So from the side, you can see my torso is out over my front foot. My hip is pulling back, okay? So before we rotate, take a second to push through your front heel and really feel that glute activate, okay? So once you feel the glute turn on, what I want you to do is I want you to rotate the back hip toward the front knee. You're going to rotate as far as you can go. You're going to feel a pull through the back of the leg and the glute, and we're going to hold right there. Reach the hands forward off the forehead. Make sure all of the weight is in the front heel, and just keep pushing through the heel. You're going to feel that glute pulling long and then turning on. This is extremely effective for sciatic and piriformis syndrome. Keep holding. Every breath is a lengthening breath. Drive through the heel. 2 more breaths. All of your weight is centered over that front heel. 3, 2, 1, step forward. Great job, you guys. I'm just going to show you this really quick from the back. You're in this position, the hip is pulled back, the weight's in the heel, the back hip rotates toward the front knee. You can see all the length and pulled into the piriformis muscle. Then we're holding. One of the very best ways to get muscles to let go is to pull them long, not just to stretch them, but to pull them long and then turn them on. You got to activate them. It's just like hitting the reset button, okay? Other side, same thing. Stepping the back foot back about 2.5, 3 feet behind you. Pushing up on the ball of the back foot. All of the weight is centered in the front heel. Front knee is softened. Should feel that glute start to turn on. Really drive that heel down into the ground. Okay. Back hip is going to rotate towards your front knee. Your whole torso rotates with. Again, keeping the weight in the heel. Keep connecting with that front heel. Reach those hands off your forehead and hold. Lengthen the spine on the inhale. Maintain that length on the exhale. Keep reaching your front hip back and taking your weight a little bit farther forward. You'll feel that glute activate even more. Every breath, bring more length into the spine. Exhale, draw the belly button in toward the spine. 2 more breaths. Keep rotating, keep folding into it. Exhale, pull the belly button in tight, last breath. Push through that front heel. Exhale, step forward. Great job, you guys. Okay, so we just opened up the back of the hip capsule a lot more. We're gonna go back into the hinge to see how your body feels. Take about a little bit wider than shoulder width stance. Toes closer together than heels. Let's exaggerate that a little bit. Let's bring them even closer. You can see I'm really internally rotated here. Knees are soft. Open up the chest. Let's hinge. This should feel fairly familiar to you by now. Nice and slow. Pulling the hips back. Driving through the heels. Again, all of the motion is happening at the hip joint. Picture a rod through your spine. There's no motion there. It's all at the hips. Lengthening and activating the glutes and hamstrings. Keep going nice and slow. Hopefully you guys are feeling your glutes here a little bit. Again, they are really neglected muscles. One of the leading causes of a lot of joint pain is weak glutes. Foundation training takes care of that for you. Keep going nice and slow. Reach back. Drive through the heels. Let's go 5 more. Good. Let's inhale as we pull back. Length. Exhale. Even more length. Inhale. Lengthen the torso. Exhale. More length into the torso. Last 2. Reaching back. Good. 1 more. We're going to hold this last one and move back into a founder 1 more time. The hips hinge back behind the heels. The hands come forward off the forehead. Fingertips push together. You're holding right here. Knees are softened. Weight is in your heels. Every breath is length. Exhale. Tighten the front side of your body, maintaining the length. Inhale. Exhale. Great job, you guys. Shake it out. The founder is one of my favorite exercises. It's like doing a plank for the back side of your body rather than for the front, okay? How's everybody feeling out there? Give me some thumbs up. Everyone still hear me okay? Great job. Okay, burning. Somebody says burning. Beyond exhausted. Good, you guys. Again, this is something I'm so passionate about. If you've dealt with chronic pain, you can be really, really hopeful that foundation training is going to help you out of that pain. It is extremely effective. I cannot even tell you what I've seen it do over the years. Okay? We're going to go back into the woodpecker one more time. Again, the more we do this, the better you get at it. I want to keep this really repetitive. I want you guys to walk away with some really good basic tools to get your body out of pain, okay? We're going to go back into the woodpecker. So we're going to do a combination of hold, hinge, hold, and really light that area up, okay? You didn't feel it before. Hopefully you feel it this time. Here we go. Stepping that back foot back about 2.5, 3 feet behind you. Let's get deeper into the hip. Let's try to pull that front hip back a little bit farther. Look down, check in with yourself. Make sure your knees just barely soften. Your chest is out over your front toe. Your hip is pulled back, and all of your weight is centered over your front heel, okay? In this position, the hands come forward and we're gonna hold. We'll take 5 big decompression breaths. Every breath, length, and then tighten. When we tighten the front side, we offer a little support for the low back, okay? So you're gonna inhale, lengthen, exhale, tension. The longer your torso is, the harder the glute has to work. Keep pulling the hip back a little bit deeper with every breath. Keep pushing through the heel a little bit harder with every breath, okay? Let's bring the hands down to the hips. We're gonna hinge. Chest comes forward, hip pulls back. Push through the front heel to lift the torso up. You're not lifting your back, you're driving through the heel. Drive through the heel, the glute contracts and acts like a pulley system and pulls the torso up. Hip pulls back, drive through the heel. Keep going, nice and slow. Reach that hip back, drive through the heel, one more hinge, and then we're gonna hold again. Hip pulls back, hinge halfway out, hands come forward and hold. Glute is on fire, drive through the heel. 5, 4, 3, 2, step forward. Great job, you guys. One thing about foundation training is the more you do it, the more you feel those muscles wake up. So I've been doing it for quite a while. I just felt that more than any burn, more than any lunge, deadlift, squat you'll ever do. It makes your glutes literally light on fire, okay? Really, really effective exercise. Same thing on the other side. Hold, hinge, hold. Step 1 foot back, 2.5, 3 feet behind you. All of your weight is pushing through your front heel. The hips are square. The hip is pulled back deep, deep into the back of the leg, okay? Chest is out over your front foot. Hands are off the forehead. The spine is long. No weight in the back foot. Check in. Keep pushing the weight into your front heel. Every breath you're gonna lengthen. Exhale, draw the belly button in tight. Lengthen and exhale. Keep breathing. Keep pushing through your front heel. And keep reaching your hip back a little bit deeper, okay? Hands on your hips. Torso comes forward as the hip pulls back. Push through the front heel to come back up. Reach the hip back. Lengthening the glutes. Drive through the heel. Contracting the glutes. Keep the weight in that front heel. Don't let the body cheat. It's lazy and it's going to want to. Keep pushing through the heel. Keep that glute active. Reach the hip back. Drive through the heel. Last hinge. Pull back. Drive through the heel. Come about halfway out of that. Hands come forward and hold. Connect the fingertips. Push through your front heel. Pull that hip back a little deeper. And hold. Big decompression breath. Length. Exhale. Tension. Step forward. Shaking, burning, on fire. Great job, you guys. Okay, we're gonna move to a different exercise. This one is called lunge decompression. I want to talk to you guys a second for a little bit about sitting. When we sit in this position, the front of the hips become short and they adapt to that shortness over time. Again, the average person sits 6 to 7 hours a day. That's a lot of time for those muscles to adapt to that short position. We get up, we go outside, we go on a run, we go into the gym, we start doing a bunch of squats. We can't figure out why we don't feel the backside of our body. It's completely shut off. It's been inhibited by all the sitting we've been doing, okay? So this exercise brings length into the front side of the body. Foundation training is really good at two things: bringing length into the chronically short and tight front side of the body, and bringing strength and stability into the very weak and neglected back side of the body, okay? So we're gonna take our decompression breathing into a lunge position. I'm gonna have you stand hip width apart. Soften your knees. Step one foot back about a foot behind you, okay? So in this position, about 80% of my weight is gonna push through the ball of my back foot. My heel is hovering off the ground. Not on the ground, it's hovering off the ground, okay? My hips are tucked under. We're gonna tuck the hips into a posterior tilt. The whole focus is to lengthen those tight hip flexors. So here we are in this lunge position. Your weight is in the ball of the back foot. Your pelvis is tucked under. Your hands go up over your head, and then every breath you take, you're gonna lift the rib cage up, bringing more length into the tight anterior chain, okay? So hands up, leaning back into just a slight bit of extension, big deep breath in, lengthening, and then exhale, maintain that length. We are training those tight muscles to become longer and stronger. This takes a lot of tension off the disc in the low back, okay? Big deep breath in. Exhale, maintain that length. Keep breathing up. Lengthen, exhale. We're gonna scissor the feet just a little bit. You're gonna drag your back foot. It's not gonna move, but you're gonna pull your back foot towards your front heel and your front heel towards your back toe, okay? So all that's gonna do is turn on those hip flexor muscles. Let's go 2 more big deep breaths. Length, exhale, tension, 1 more breath. Length, get as long as you can. Exhale, maintain that length. Come down and shake it off. That is a really good exercise, you guys, for reversing the effects of sitting. You want, as soon as you get up, you want to bring length and a little bit of activation through this area, and that will help to undo what sitting is going to do to your body, okay? Same thing on the other side. Hip width apart, knees are softened. Step 1 foot back, about a foot behind you. The weight right away shifts into the ball of the back foot. The pelvis tucks under. When we tuck the pelvis under, we pull the hips a little bit more tightly through here, okay? So we don't want to be arched, we want to be tucked, okay? So we've got a nice tug through the front of the hip. Hands come up, fingertips connect in the sphere of tension. You're in a little bit of extension, meaning you're leaning back into it just slightly so that you can lengthen through here even more. You don't want to be here, you want to be here, okay? So every breath, lift the rib cage away from the hips and then maintain that length. Again, the most important part about foundation training is we're not just stretching. Stretching is not very effective for some of this stuff. We're activating at the same time, okay? So we've lengthened, now we're activating. So there's a slight scissor pulling the back foot toward the front heel and the front heel toward the back foot so that you can engage the muscles on the front of the hip as we lengthen up. Big deep breath in. Length, exhale, maintain that length. 1 more breath. Get as long as you can. Exhale, stay long. Great job, you guys. So again, as these muscles get chronically short and tight, they directly compress the lumbar spine. That exercise, lunge decompression, lengthens and activates and pulls those muscles long. We get a lot more space in the spine when we do that, okay? We're gonna finish with a little bit more hinging, and then I'm gonna jump on Instagram and do a live Q&A to answer your guys' questions about what you did and didn't feel, and any other questions that you guys have, okay? So let's go wider than you've gone. We're gonna go wide enough that you feel a pull through the adductor muscles, okay? So take a nice wide stance, okay? So what I want you to think about is the arches are lifting up toward the pubic bone. They're not collapsed. The knees do not fall in. The weight stays on the outside edges of the feet, The knees stay softened and the arches are lifting up. If you've got plantar fasciitis, pay close attention, okay? So the arches are lifting up. You're gonna pull in with your adductor muscles. There's a little bit of a little tug here to activate the inner thigh. We're gonna open up and then we're gonna hinge. Knees are softened, weights in the heel. Remember, throughout the whole hinge, you wanna feel your inner thighs. So you're pulling both heels toward the center of your body with your inner thigh muscles. Keep the knees aligned, keep the arches off the ground, the weight in your heels, and just keep hinging nice and slow. Reaching the hips back, drive through the heels, keep going. Good. Make sure the torso stays long. All the motion is happening right at the hips. Last 5. Reach back, drive through the heels, pull back, push through the heels. 2 more, reach back. Good, last one, extra slow. Let's pull back and hold here. Hands come off the forehead, knees are softened, weight is in the heels. Let's take 3 big decompression breaths. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, tighten the front side of the body. Pull the hips back a little deeper into the hinge. Last breath, length. Exhale. Good. Come on out. Shake it out. Great job, you guys. I wish I could see all of you guys. I am so honored to be able to share this with you. Again, like I said, I've seen this change so many people's life. If you have chronic pain, be very hopeful. It changed my life. I know it can change your guys's. I'm going to, again, like I said, I'm going to jump on Instagram Live. So if you have questions, meet me over there. There has been such a demand for this class. I've decided to offer a recurring weekly class called Align with Kate. It is going to be a combination of foundation training as well as a bunch of my other favorite mobility and strength exercises to address chronic joint issues, okay? Addressing all the issues that lead to joint pain. So we're going to be doing that on Thursday mornings, 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. You can meet me right here on Zoom. I will be following up with all of you guys via email after class. So be looking for that either later today or tomorrow, where you get more information about Align with Kate. You'll be able to sign up for the classes there. I wanted to make a more affordable option for a lot of you guys to work with me. My rates for one-on-one are $115 for a 30-minute session. The class is going to be $20. If that's something you're interested in, stay tuned. There'll be an email coming. Thank you all so much for your time today. I hope you guys left with some valuable tools and feeling a little bit more activated through the backside, more length through the torso. There's 2 things you leave here today. When you bend, I always tell my clients, when in doubt, butt out, okay? So when you bend, tonight when you go to brush your teeth, rather than just bending down to the sink, let your hips pull back, your torso come forward to counter, and use bending as an opportunity to activate, lengthen, and strengthen the most important muscles in your body, okay? These guys right here. So every time you bend, when in doubt, butt out. You're bending over, hip hinge. You will feel so much better. I've seen people's years worth of chronic pain go away very quickly when they start to hip hinge. Second thing is breathe up. Gravity is always pushing down on us. We need more space in our torso. It improves digestion, we breathe better. It really helps with pain, especially low back pain. So when you're driving, when you're standing there doing your dishes, breathe more length into the spine. Practice retraining those trunk muscles to be long and strong. All right, you guys, thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Take care.